Good morning, guys. I hope everybody's having a really, really great day starting off. I'm sure they're not, though. That's why I'm jumping on just to talk for a few minutes. I missed you guys. I haven't had a chance to really go on. What's up, James? Nice to see you, brother. Where's everybody at this morning? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you on the road? Are you running? Are you in the spring? Are you sitting on a load board? Feel like you're drunk in a reality check of deja vu or something. Long time. No, no, James. Give me a call. Let's talk. My number's right there on the screen, man. I love like reminiscing. It's at least every week or two, man. Somebody pops on that's either back from like over the last 17 years. They're either dispatching or somebody I helped or, you know what I mean? What's up, Ender? Good morning. Morris, Illinois for William Seeger. Man, that is awesome, guys. I wanted to come on and talk. I'm getting ready to talk. Load boards suck. That is the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm going to try to limit my cussing. I'm going to try it. Florida is beautiful. Man, I love to be in Florida right now. Guys, we're going to talk about some serious notes. So don't jump on and just jump off because I want to go over some things this morning about the markets. Like I've been through it. Like I've seen 17 and 15 in 2008, 2001. I still see prices of fuel prices in 2010 that are way higher than they are now. What's up, Ron? Nice to see you, buddy. Me and Frank have been talking about stuff for a really long time about diversity and networking and research and multiple streams of income and knowing what Ron Jones is going to do when his truck breaks down and he has to borrow money off himself. Over the last 2 years, hey, good morning. Over the last 2 years, it's been crazy because, you've always had that extra gas pedal. If one load didn't work, you've had two or three others, and I really want to talk too because it's amazing. Like, I think people get confused. Like, every morning, did you know last week there was literally over 7,000 authorities either get discontinued? What's up, Al? Or revoked. Like last year, I don't know if you guys like literally pay attention to like this, and I really wanted to talk about the spot market, the load boards, and like how much bullshit they are, and why people are failing. Like a lady called me another day, and everybody right now is like suddenly looking for dedicated. Hey, how's it going? Everybody's popping. I can't see everybody's names so much, but they're popping in from the different groups. We're on YouTube. We're in G Trucks and Freight. We're on mine. I'm trying it out, and I really wanted to come on because this morning and over the weekend I was going to go live, and every time I go to a group, it's like, man, I was in a lease purchase group. There's guys in there that are in the lease purchase group these guys are getting their first lease purchase. What's up, Kyle? They're getting their first lease purchase and they're trying to learn to book their own load. And then this guy pops up and says, hey, do you self dispatch? My wife can run you. And the person, hey Kyle, my wife can run you. This person's just starting out on their journey and somebody's already preying on them to want to run them as a lease purchase at a company that's self-dispatch, which is totally stupid because the reason they're doing it is to move forward, become an owner operator, and learn the business. And immediately somebody wants to try to take 5 to 10% of their money on top that doesn't even understand how much their charges are, what they're going through, how much they have to pay, where they need. They're just like, we'll run all over the United States. You see people that are sitting in places all over the United States, Denver, California, even in the Midwest, the Northeast, down south, and Florida. People are talking about how they ran for the last year and a half from Dallas to Florida and back, and it was the greatest thing since sliced butter, and it's all gone. And everybody's using a dispatching service. But, this morning I'm on the load board, and again, let me get my screen share up. How's everybody doing? Like, how are the load boards? Like, are you able to, like, how far are you getting out? Like, what are you guys doing to be able to help yourself get out there? A lady called me yesterday or sent me a message, one of my students, and I'm always teaching about posting with direction in my dispatching class and searching with direction. Hey, Scott Clark, posting with direction and searching with direction. And people are like, what does that mean? Well, half these people don't fucking know what it means because you get caught up when the load boards are good. You get caught up when the dispatchers can make money, and the dispatching services. But posting Shorter loads are paying better. And it is, right. We're not even getting into that, James, yet, but we will talk about that. But posting what direction? Do you guys understand that there's probably 80%, 70%, I don't know what the number is, but it's really freaking high, of how many customers and how many brokers out there that do projects and have stuff, but you think they're waiting for that shit the last minute? You guys are on these load boards, and all you know how to do, and all these dispatchers know how to do, is two things: one and two. And after that, you're fucking lost because you can't afford to. You cannot afford to go farther than that because the dispatcher doesn't want to hurt his reputation and cancel load. You're afraid to offend somebody on a load board that they're already offending you because they're cheap sons of bitches because it's last minute, it's no good freight. You can't get past two loads because you don't ever know where you're going next. You're not even telling people what you're doing next. I run flatbed locally in Denver. Local is paying better. I know, Ron, we remember when me and Frank remember when you told us you were starting out. We were helping you, telling you to post within a 150-mile radius and start building that network. You know, and it's crazy, guys. And please share this video all over the place and let people know because it's a free for all. You go to the dispatch lounge, you go to this group, you go to this group, you're on Facebook, you go over here. You go over here. I'm still okay. It's messing with me. You go over here and everything. So well, I'm going to stop getting crazy and I'm going to try to cuss because this stuff's getting unreal. I want to show you guys something real quick. I want to show you the FMCSA, like literally show the FMCSA to you. I'm going to zoom in. And then you guys, if you guys don't notice, it says right up here on the top, the date that I'm looking at right here, just so everybody knows. Let me go all the way back to the top. This is the date. Today, April 22nd, 10:30 a.m. decision notices, right? So we go all the way down here to the bottom. My brain's going dead. Everybody's messing. My brain. So what about? Do you guys never notice? Let me pull this up in the screen real quick. I want to show you guys this. This is super important. This is FMCSA, right? The government website where you guys do your PIN numbers and you do everything. I want to show you guys this. This is what you're being misled to. The new authorities, the box trucks, the hot shots, the semis that are jumping out here. You guys are being led into something that's not real. And we counted just on Monday of last week, the very first day of the week, we counted 2,700 authorities, right? But it was like 5,000 that week because I don't know if it's like a free for all. You guys just have this fetish to go out there and just lose all your money. You love listening to other people that control your business that don't have one of their own. Having a dispatching service working in your house is not a business. Owning equipment, having owner operators leased to you, having customers as service, and this whole new thing where these people are out here, this Chantel, whatever the fuck her name is, that's out there telling dispatching services to go to customers because the broker boards now suck. So she's telling you to go directly to the customers and all that crap. That's fucked up too, because be a broker and learn. Don't just take the carriers to them directly. Be the broker, be the dispatcher you want to be and make the money and double. I mean, there's so much more. We run the Midwest to where you're based out of. It's the greatest place to be. But what if the Midwest is getting saturated on that map back there because of all the freight chasers coming from Florida, McAllen, Texas, and California? You know, it's crazy because everybody had their $10,000 or $3,000, their income tax checks, their stimulus. And it's really weird in the world right now because half the people are spending money like crazy. It's like you got 200,000 weddings going to happen this year because of COVID, all these different things. People are still buying shopping. But on the other hand, there's manufacturers that aren't thing. Car industry's all fucked up. They're moving to electric. People don't have money no more. And a lot of people can't afford what the price of stuff's out there unless you're working. Oh yeah, and the PPE loans and all that stuff. So all this stuff is happening, and now you have a huge amount of freight that's not needed no more. The demand has dropped, and we're right here at peak season of the produce, right? That's happening. It's unreal, and unfortunately, these people right here on my screen, they're getting killed because they don't understand what's going on. Look, discontinuances, reinstatements, people are coming in. revokes. There's going to be revokes. It's just nuts. One after another. People quitting, losing insurance because they can't afford it. Probably box trucks and all this stuff, right? You just look at here, one page after next. Usually there's 150 on here. Today there's 118, and it's just one after another, 45 to a page. People getting notices, discontinued, revoked. I don't know how much we have to go out there and tell you guys on a weekly basis about what's going on, right? Thanks, man. Have a blessed and week, Shaggy. And the sidekicks that keep energized and motivated his family is number one. Stand beside him, though all the good and bad. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. So, I wanted to come on this morning and keep talking about the dispatching week that we have coming up next week because our boot camps are so important to learn trucking, brokering, how to get customers, compliance. You guys are going to be on this list over here that I'm showing you. If you guys have an orientation and you're out there working with people and you got company drivers and your orientation's 2 hours long, that's about as far as it takes because you don't think you need it. You guys are wrong. If you guys are out there and you guys now understand how bad the dispatching services and load boards, because that's all you know, we see people every day. They're like, I need another dispatching service. No, it's just as stupid as the first one. They don't have any more relationships unless they're literally a broker and they actually have customer freight that they're broken to. They don't have anything more than what you have, literally. And they don't know what posting with directions, searching to a direction. They don't know how to set up multiple locations. They think dedicated means you have to work for one broker and service that customer out and back. So it's fucking easy and cushy for your drivers. They don't even understand what half the part. Hey, Jonathan, man, I'll see you around, brother. Like, they don't even understand. I mean, this is insane. And so is this. Like, looking at getting up every morning right now, and I know there's many of you doing it, sitting there waiting for one load board to the next to pop up, one load, like literally. All right, time to call. No, I can't get through. Then you go to the next one. Then you go to the next one. Then you go to the next one. That's not fun. They should be calling you. They should be offering you one, but no one knows what you want because half you guys are only booking 2 loads at a time. It's as far as you can get. And then the problem is you have your mind set on these rates that you've got at $4 to $5 a mile or even 350 plus. For the last 2 or 3 years, your cost is out of whack. You have no diversity with owner operators. You guys, their money in the bank's tripping out. You guys are sitting there one breakdown for whatever. You don't have any diversity coming in because you haven't built anything because you let somebody else to do it for you. And next thing you know, you're going to start neglecting your maintenance, your safety, because you're going to have to pay your bills first. You don't have it calculated in there. And that's insane. To be relying on this board right here, DAT, with all this triple posting, double posting bullshit one way, and to go out, and most of you don't even like I'm telling you right now, most customers and brokers they only use the load board to find trucks. Literally, I'm telling you guys, they only use it to find trucks. And half of you, the minute you went to tell them what kind of truck you had, you don't even understand because you post your truck and you don't do anything. Some of you guys are a little smarter than the rest of them because you actually know how to put Illinois, Indiana, Ohio in these things. And then you post and you still don't get shit. You don't know how to read the emails. You don't know how to build lanes. You don't get it. See, there's always a difference, James, when you're freight chasing or you're going to the same places all the time. I guess that's the difference of being on the load board and working with people like Alan, CT, all these guys here, Cowan, Arc Best, TQL, Spot Freight, RFX. Now, Spot Freight has relationships. Chariot, they just sell rates. You got Magellan sell rates. Corporate Traffic, sell rates. Landstar, sucks, sells rate. Trinity, sells rates. Bat Logistics, sells rates. Arrive, worse is selling rates. I don't even know who this other one is. There's a bunch of new ones still on here. On here, Accelerated, sells rates. ProPack, always sells rates. Trident, sells rate. Axle, really sells rate. R2, sells rate. Nolan, sucks ass, and so does OTR. You know what I mean? These guys on here, you're looking at these numbers where you're being dictated by this right here, Atlanta to Jupiter, Florida. You don't have no plan at all. And then when you go on here and post, I mean, do you guys look at this shit? This is the market where how bad it is. Like many new ones. You got it, James. I mean, why? So if you guys don't believe that a customer will use a low board to find people when they have projects, and brokers that aren't on low boards use a low board just to find trucks but not to post loads, you're sadly mistaken. And you're like, why do they do that? I don't know. I mean, anybody could get a fucking load board. I mean, half you guys that are getting your authorities that are watching in these groups, you're like, I just got my authority. I have my active date at 21. I'm looking for owner operators, but you're looking for carriers. Half you guys out there are using people that are brokers and they're dispatchers, and these people are looking for dispatchers. Dispatchers don't own the trucks. They don't even have a relationship with the trucks, except for booking 2 loads at a time and hoping to God they send them to. And half the time they're chasing them to the front rated place. When these guys to the best paying place, which is a disaster for you yourself. This market on here, these boards, there is nothing on here. It's red. The spot market's starting. This should be a lot different down through here and on the bottom, but it's not. It's not different. It's so far behind. And we're starting to motivate a little bit from what we were. And this is vans, but it's huge. Freight chasing, a huge market. But so many people are moving freight like crazy. Like you got guys out there, like I talked to Kyle Meyer and all these other people, and they got so much freight coming in, they just can't get the owner operators fast enough. Post your truck and your rate. Don't post your truck and your rate. Stop listening to James. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So you don't post your rate. You leave the rate open. Don't ever post your rate. And half you guys that are out there, what if you can't get your rate? What if you fucking can't get your rate? Like, what if your rate's at 330 a mile? You gotta go park your fucking truck. You're gonna go to DC and fight those guys up there who haven't done nothing for you for years. You're not gonna do anything because they're not gonna write your check. They're not gonna fucking bail you out. Learn to post redirection. Learn to tell customers and people at 30 days at a time and the cities that you're going to be in and how you're going to network. Let the customers know. Get on e-carrier check. Start setting up your email campaigns through fucking MailChimp so you can concentrate on what you're doing. Start working it. You guys cover yourself 2 times and then you get on Facebook and listen to me and fucking all these other people on YouTube and stuff, and you're not working. You figure if your truck's covered 2 at a time, you'll let somebody else do it for you. You need to be networking, building these relationships, calling these brokers that aren't on this load board. There's a whole nother world. Do you understand there's over 75,000 brokers? God tell. And then how many fucking customers are there, right? 5 million power units, and we're growing like every day. It's like 500 to 600 new MC numbers. You guys come into a lucrative business where there's almost same amounts. There's thousands going out of business every day because no one ever wants to come back and tell you they fell. It's kind of like researching that Alex, a good energy guy. You go look up his consulting trucking company and look how his safety scores on all his trucks and maintenance. Then you wonder what the fuck he's actually teaching in his dispatching webinar. Because how can you learn dispatching without knowing compliance, safety, and what James Wheeler needs to double his truck, trailer, fuel, $1,500 to $2,000 or $1,000 of fixed costs in escrow, plus make his paycheck that's above, not this $1,000 shit. And then if you're paying a dispatcher, how is that fee included? And if your truck breaks down, they send you to Denver, Colorado or somewhere, then how many days can you sit right now before you're fucked? How many? I want to know. Because obviously it's not working for the rest. And everybody's so made believe because you got people that are teaching people to go buy trailers to lure you in as a dispatcher service in the next town over because it works for him. He ain't got no customers. He's got brokers. That's it, brokers. And if you want to always work with brokers, I get it. You be a one truck guy, use your dispatcher, work with brokers. I understand. But you're not learning what you're supposed to be learning. You're not building your company. Your orientations are 2 days. You wonder why your drivers suck. You have no orientation. You make your rules up as you go after the authority started because the people that are helping you don't have a fucking clue but referring you to somebody to do it for you because they've never done it themselves. They've worked at Taco Bell. They've worked at fucking Olive Garden. They've worked at a factory. They've been a tax accountant and never bought a truck. They don't know about depreciation. They've never had a driver call and say it because they always say it's your problem. You have to take care of it. But they didn't make you the money. They didn't help you build it up to count for it. They didn't show you when you're having those breakdowns and the trucks are sitting how to add on more to gross. So I know, James, I'm trying to not cuss. Really am trying to not cuss. I am. But when you start thinking about all the dumb stuff that people are doing and how they're allowing people to do this, you would never run any other business the same way. You might hire a consultant to help you. You might take a class. But I mean, God, half these freaking people that are dispatching, I just see 4 or 5 people on my Facebook friends list I had to delete last night because they're all teaching, and I know damn well they haven't earned their wings to teach. They haven't been in it long enough because dispatching is hard. Dispatching service sucks. Well, like everybody that's done it for many years ends up hating it because if you don't have the trucking company, the freight, or the brokerage, or the diversity, it's no fun. Me too. It's not Disney Channel. This is Trucking 101. And you guys are taking these dispatching classes. You're setting up these companies and you don't have a plan. Like if you took a dispatching class where they taught you about MC authorities, they taught you about broker packets, they taught you about all these fancy shipper lists, and or well, that's broker class. I'm sorry, I'm going over everybody thought. If you guys took a dispatching class, or you have a dispatcher that's charging your percentage, they're not building lanes for you where you're doing it. They're not talking about growing your company and helping you diversify. And you're not doing this yourself. And you're one truck guy out here. You may be parking your truck or losing your truck because the rates, you're not going to have enough time to do it. That's why you said to them, because you didn't start before you started. Like, you know how many people are out there right now and they're asking for dispatching services, and then immediately right after that, they say, hey, while I'm waiting for my plates and my deadline. So they're in there 3 or 4 weeks, and it's like, hey, man, why aren't you networking? Why are you getting a dispatching service? Well, that's a good question. Well, I mean, the dispatching service, the customers and brokers can get a load board without having an MC number 6 months before you started your authority. Why the fuck didn't you? Why didn't you get one and start learning what's going on? Why didn't you get a subscription to eCarrier Check to send out emails to lots of brokers that aren't on the board and start researching? Why do you look up a couple of customers and just call them and ask for work? Why do you have 4 company trucks and now you're looking at your wife telling us, man, last 2 years is kind of great. We made a little more money than we did, but the work involved is not as cracked up as what they thought. And the risk of my drivers hitting Mabel and killing people and getting in trouble with DOT, man, it's a lot. They didn't put all that when they cracked this baby up like it was going to be easy. Hell, I used to have a 9 to 5. I went in there, I was off on weekends and had this. Wow. You know what I mean? Why are they all getting taught to freaking manipulate, take your fucking money, but you're the one investing the credit, the thousands of dollars, your family, your time, your home time? Look at all these people getting out of the military and veterans groups and stuff like that. You like work 20 years and 15 years, 8 years in the military. You never home with your wives, always gone at the spur of the moment. And you think that's what you want to keep doing. I thought you got your trucking company to leave something behind for your kids. I thought you got your trucking company to be able to better yourself. Thought you got your trucking company to open a business and run it yourself. I thought you got a trucking company so you can actually be home on nights and weekends and know what your wife and kids are like and buy a camper and go camping. I didn't know you got a trucking company to be a slave grunt to a business and fucking let everybody else run it for their own benefit until you fucking crash and burn and go out of business. I mean, look at the thousands of authorities. Do I need to show it to you again? I mean, you guys don't believe me that these people are? Do you actually look up the MC numbers of these people that are giving you advice to see how they fucking really run their trucking company or how long it was really a business or what they do? I'm so tired of people giving advice to one-check companies and then they look at this guy. You get guys on YouTube to say, well, the guys are out there giving advice, but they don't turn the keys to it. They're not out here driving like us. You're not driving either, motherfuckers. You're in California, raising hell and stuff like that. You're not driving. If you want to give advice, Go get advice. I mean, I'd rather you get advice from a guy that has a one truck authority, been in business for a year, paying insurance on his own with the ups and downs, instead of having somebody else and fucking companies they work for bail them out with shops and breakdowns and put them in debt so they can pay them back forever. Why don't you think about who you're getting trained from and let them know? Because a one truck authority that's out there doing it, that's been doing it for you, can give you better advice than a guy that's just an owner operator, at least on to somebody telling you how great it is because you're giving them YouTube clicks and trucker tools can give them some fucking money. You know what I mean? So people should watch what they say sometimes because then the other people get irritated. The ones that actually answer 22,000 minutes a month to make sure Barbara Davis and Jewel Grimes and James Weller have somebody to answer the phone to them that actually know what it's like to have 70, 30, 40, and 25 and 18 and to know what it's like when your FedEx doesn't get to your factory company. Back in the day when you had to send originals like crazy, and if you didn't get it there, your drivers didn't get paid, and they were bitching all over YouTube because they couldn't buy medicine for their kids because they're mad because they didn't do something right, but it's your fucking job to make sure they get paid before you cover your bills. I understand. You're always going to have loads cancel. Say like James said a thing. Well, it fucks up your whole week. Well, then book another load to cover it so you have a backup to fill lane. You're going to have two. Well, you don't think brokers out there like TQL and all these big fuckers on the low board right now double post to cover people? They're using rookies. Like you understand why it's so fucked up because why there's so many rules and so much fraud and why big brokers have to do that on their volume. You don't think they double book? You don't think they cover you? Of course they do, because they know you use shitty brokers too, and you're going to cancel. Or you got dispatching services that they never even had a relationship with the carrier, and the dispatch don't care. They just want their paycheck. They just want to get paid at the end of the week. And when you're gone, they move on. When your house gets repoed, they move on. When your trucks are there, they're not writing the check. When your driver fucking messes up, breaks down, and they're explaining he's an idiot to you, but it was really you because you had no structure and you made up the rules as the dispatcher and your driver figured them out afterwards, and it was grueling, grueling, grueling. Because you had no education of what you're getting into. You just wanted to buy a truck, get that ass out there, and make some money. If I had $100 for every person that called me for an insurance quote, and I said, "What kind of company you're on?" They said, "We're getting a semi truck. We just got a trailer. Who's going to drive it? I haven't found a driver yet. I'm just going to grab one and put them in the truck. Have you tried to hire one yet? Well, we're working on it. How are you going to book freight? The dispatching service. And then, are you getting quotes on insurance? Well, I'm going to go with the first lady because she explained she wouldn't help me. All right, maybe I know her or something, and she's going to give me a $20,000 quote that's $500 a week. Then you're going to pay a driver $2,000. You haven't figured out what you need to get paid yet because you're clueless. You need $1,500 for this, $2,000 for fuel, your truck trailer payment. Then you need to do it for 50 weeks, but your dispatcher can't think past tomorrow. Isn't that a great plan? Well, how do you plan for 50 weeks? That's a damn good question. Maybe you should get in Shaggy's training and do a 3 week boot camp so you could be like Myers and freaking Tangela Harrison and freaking I just can't even name them all. Or you could be like some of the other guys out there that you go look at their stuff and their safety scores crap and they're telling people to get in and all kinds of tips, and it's well, you only got to manage it. I mean, a lifetime because safety and maintenance is a full-time job. Like I don't give a fuck how you're going to outsource it. You are going to take care of that 100%. You have to. There's no way you can't. And I don't know if you guys are commenting. This Be Live thing's kind of weird. So if you guys have comments, they're coming in slowly. And if you guys have questions, you're more than welcome to ask about what you need to do or stuff that's going on or things about my boot camp training or the dispatching webinar that's coming up. What's up, Kenneth? Just like Kenneth, man. I have seen so many people at Prime because I'm in Prime's Facebook website. I've seen so many people on Prime that are chasing freight with their dispatchers at Prime over to Maryland and all these places. They're over there and they're like, man, me and my student driver have been sitting for 3 days. Me and my this person's been sitting for 4 days at these companies now, even the big companies. It's happening everywhere. because the big brokers and the big companies, you're always going to be expandable first because they're going to pay their board people, their bosses, everybody first. So when will you guys step up and take control of your business and not let people? But I mean, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing the compliance or having an e-log or doing any of that stuff. But do you understand what you're outsourcing? Do you understand that you're going to pay for it? Do you understand that you're going to have to write the check? Do you understand these people that are your best friends that when they call you off FMCSA and say, "Hi, my name is Judy Bim Bam 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 Bam, and I was calling you because I see you got a new authority and congratulations." Because I was calling you because I know that it's going to be hard for you to start out your first 30 days because you haven't networked at all and you haven't done any research. One of your friends told you it was a really good idea because they were making money last year, but now it's all changed and they haven't told you yet because their assholes puckered up because they're fucked now and all this stuff. What do and we want like that one dude, this guy, I love these guys on Facebook. They're like, there's no way a driver can get the most efficient kind of money while he's driving down the road. He can't take time during the week and fill out 100 fucking broker packets in 2 hours or 2 days while he's waiting for his license plates and then send out constant blasts to the specific areas that he wants to run over and over for 30 days at a time once he's already set up because he was doing networking. It's funny. The motherfucker can put his feet up. The guy can sit in his truck. He can drive his automatic down the road eating bombs and chips for minutes at a time. But he can't drive down the road like this and go tag, stick, play, stick, tag, to post it, send. Oh, okay. That was doing a broker packet. It takes about 5 minutes because that's what they're charging you for. Then because they're all online or a DocuSign. So you just go attach, click that right there on your phone. I mean, half you guys are using the app on the load portal when you're parked the fucking book loads, but you can't do the package yourself. And even the dispatchers. Like I've literally seen dispatchers using an app, right? I didn't say you. I said how many trucks do they have, Kenneth? And you're smarter than the average bear. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of them that are on there that are out there. You see them, and maybe it's them. Maybe it's the same way. Maybe it's a bad dispatcher. But you see a lot of people that are being out there that are having in every group, all of them, because everything's so inflated. It's expensive. It's expensive. I can't book stuff. I play on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. Like, honestly, why are you guys? Oh, I hate fucking Siri. I can't even talk. All right, so a lot of I don't even know where to start. Like I've been waiting all weekend to come on Monday and just talk. You know what I mean about what's going on. We've been preaching it for years about networking, building relationships, staying ahead. Now the brokers don't want to network with you. They don't have to because now they have the privilege for a little bit to make all the money back that they lost whenever it was inflated. People like hell. I watched Corey lose $100,000 a month, and we were the ones paying people decent all year. Now he doesn't want. Now he doesn't want to fucking give nobody a break at all. Can you blame these people? And the most messed up part about it, right? The messed up part about it is there's 1.5 million carriers, something like that. There's 5 million out there. 35% in the industry is 65% like the littler guys, and half of them are 20 trucks. And everybody's yelling about brokers. I'm so tired of it. Brokers, brokers, brokers. Tell me one broker, one dispatching service with a broker that actually stuck a gun to your head and made you take it. Well, if that's all there is and all you got, I guess you're going to go cry to them because you waited too long. You allowed somebody else to do it for you. You didn't get your wife in there helping you. Susan Moore says, would I be able to do the class at my convenience? My husband and I are a team. We own and run our own truck. So I would obviously be driving my 11 during the day. I wouldn't be able to log in on a specific time. How can we make this work? That's the sacrifice, Susan, about my training. And honestly, I'm not like those other guys, Susan. I'm not going to lock you into one of my training classes and say, yes, Susan, you can log in, go to meeting live while you're bouncing down the road when you should be getting sleep because it's 6 hours of training, right? It starts at 6 p.m. at night. It goes till damn near midnight, 4 days a week for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And there's so much homework that you actually have to do. There's networking you need to do and stuff. It's not just like you learn it and then go. You need to be, if you guys want to take my training, you better be focused, have him drive locally. get local, you get out of the truck if you want to take it to the next level, because otherwise the rates are going to keep changing for the next 2 years. The market's going to drop. And if you get caught up because it gets too late, I understand. But you got to take time before you start to learn trucking, dispatching, brokering, the liability, the claims, the issues, why orientation, how to hire people and fire people 5 times before they ever even get through the orientation and they get a hold of your truck. So that way you can back it when you actually get a good product. And once you have that product, then you want to make sure you back it. When you get those brokers, those dedicated, those customers, you want to be able to take care of it. How can you take care of it when you spent 1 hour or 2 hours minus the phone calls and a little bit of time and getting their drug testing stuff done? But you literally sat in front of them and you had 2 hours. You didn't initial anything. Then you wonder why your roofs are getting tore up, why your drivers aren't taking pictures. They're doing overloading. They don't know what they can fix. And you're yelling at them about maintenance. And you're like, did you train them? Did you train them on a monthly basis? Did you even know you fucking had to? Did they tell you that in Dispatch 101 that you're the eyes and ears and the compliance company that's going to be running these codes, dictated to the ground? Or are you just a load booker? But then you can't be a dispatcher and have all that liability, because then you can get sued in a court of law for putting people in the wrong position just by booking a load. Ask C.H. Robinson or any major broker that's out there. That's why now when you book loads, you want to get that little form signed that you verified it. So if they're in a fatality accident or something, where you put them in that incident, and everybody's like, this guy's so full of crap. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I'm full of crap. That's because all these thousands of authorities that are going out every week, they don't ever come back to admit they failed. It's like you dispatching services, when you pay for somebody's training, you're left clueless. Why did you go back and tell them what happened? Why don't you go back and tell them the problems that happened? Why don't you go back and tell them you didn't learn math, season lanes, or the real part of negotiation? You took these fucking broker classes where people tell you to go straight to the customers first and just start calling them. Once you get the break, then you find the carriers. God, those idiots. That would be a hell of a waste of time. Go find the trucks first. Go get 3,000 broker packets on the freaking on Facebook, because it's easier than doing it the hard way and actually have to call somebody and sell them and they'll trust you. Because hell, you get 3,000 broker packets and 3,000 dispatching service. Then you got all the dispatching services that are going to fuck up your brokerage. And then you got the brokerage. And then half those carriers aren't going to approve you anyways. So why are you wasting all that time? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do with 3,000 broker packets or dispatching services when half those dispatching services, their clients have fucking factoring companies and they can't use you? They don't know no better. It's like the fucking blind leading the blind. One circle jerking the other guy around, and they have fun because a bunch of people said that's the way to do it on a webinar, because they took bits and pieces of somebody else because they didn't figure it out. But everybody's jumping in the industry, and I'm going to be a good Samaritan. And I'm going to show you how on my online webinar, where you put a goat rope around your neck and each motherfucker walks down the path. Is that what we're down to now? Isaiah says you might not be doing it yourself, but you should know what the person you hired should be doing to make sure, be honest. I get it, man. I totally agree. But anyways, I didn't come on to ruin your guys' day. I just was thinking all week about the stuff that I keep seeing, and I hope you guys don't get offended. But, it's truckities, and I don't want to do it twice. I really get tired of telling people over and over that you have to post rejections, search rejections. You have to do it even when you're covered. You have to build a relationship. You have to let the brokers that don't use board. You have to actually get email lists. You have to learn how to send the emails to the customer instead of just saying, hi, my name's Shaggy, and I'm a carrier down the road, and I know I got a couple of trucks, and if you could use a guy like me, we would love to come in and help you. That's as dumb as calling up and saying, hi, I'm a broker. I'm going to show you my MC authority side. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I've been in business longer than I have, because I'm not. And all of the previous experience has nothing to do with now, because if I had the previous experience, I wouldn't be talking to you in this dumb fucking phone call and email like I am right now, not solving any problems, and I ain't got no trucks. And I couldn't give you a rate right now because the market's all screwed up, and I don't know if anybody will trust me, and the ones that will trust me, they want more money than I got in it, because I don't understand what their rates are, because their rates are still inflated for last year. And I know you want me to do it for less, but I ain't got no carriers like that, because I haven't found those guys, because the only ones I found are the freight chasing carriers and the freight chasing dispatchers that want the most money they can off everything, because they only have a 2-day plan. Don't all this stuff sound stupid? You guys know you see this every day. Don't get mad at me. This is not the way it works. Yeah, and Susan, I mean, definitely right now. Like, I mean, I know there's a million dispatching classes out there, but I guarantee you, I don't get. I may not be the guy on the back of semi trailers. I may not be the guy on Instagram. I may not be those days, but I can tell you one thing. I've been doing this dispatching shit longer, and I ask Triumph. Ask Wood Kaufman at TBS Factory before he sold out. Look him up. Ask about any factoring company out there, a bunch of insurance companies, people run. Just ask in my group. There's guys in my group like Steve Cadillac that I train for free. There's guys in the group that I used to allow come to my house and live in an apartment for a week for free while I taught them how to run a trucking company with my wife while I was running 25 trucks and dispatching. You know, I was doing this stuff where I helped carriers back when I was able to do it because I had the business. It wasn't nothing to have one person come and sit next to me with his wife, like Susan, and her husband, and take a week off and show them why the compliance was so important. Hey, I'm not God's gift to earth. I know what it's like to have a conditional safety score. And I was there once. I would have 25 trucks, man, or even 10 or 5 or 7. And the minute that you have a broker or a broker tell you that you can't haul for them no more, and you know that's a big broker because of your dispatching service or you because of the way you run. And I'm not dogging dispatching services. Isaiah's is a great dispatching service. You know, you got Susie up there at Cap Logistics. She's a great dispatching service. I can name off hundreds. Maran works so hard for his carriers. Kyle Meyer does dispatching. Great guy. I can name off the list of great dispatching services, but this is totally not the point. Any of my dispatching services that are out there that don't tell you first that you should run your own company or you should be building your own company. If a dispatch, and then if there's some reason why you still can't do it because your wife or you're a one truck authority or you're by yourself, I get it. Use a dispatching service, right? But if any carrier out there in the right mind that's been a business doesn't tell you to do it yourself and learn how to do it yourself or lease on, like I understand, then they're lying. They're not telling you the truth. They're doing it because it's their agenda. Because any of their body in their right mind, if you're going to spend a couple of $1,000s to train as a dispatching service and do the rest, why not file an MC number, right? And make it all your compliance, everything in order to learn it, then add on owner operators with your good credit, your financial money that these dispatching services that are so badass that they got when they paid Lulabelle for 150 or My Freight Broker Boot Camp or whoever, you know what I mean? Whoever they paid for their little class. Then why didn't they pay a little extra and bring on owner operators and be actually a real invested part to the industry? They're going to want to do it later anyways if they ever stay, because you're going to hear these owner operators that are working for your clients and they're going to be like, man, you're really good at booking loads. If you had your own authority, I'd give you $100,000 a year. And you're going to be like, nah, I really like having an authority. I don't own nothing. I don't have any investment and stuff, but I'm really liable to. I really like making this little bit of work. Spot markets are destroying dispatching services. And you know why? Because every time you go to any Facebook group, every guy with a weird name that doesn't speak English, or every person out there, or this person, and then the brokers too, they're all popping on. Hey, we need dispatching services and owner operators. They don't even know what the fucking carrier is, and they're already looking the network, right? This is a problem. These are problems that me and Frank are talking about. Matter of fact, Frank's popping in on here. Guys, don't forget to check out Frank. He should be live in my group and all the groups. He's learning how to use this Be Live thing tomorrow night. And then we should be, depending on how everything's going, me and Frank will be live with our show. We're moving it from Fridays to Wednesdays because we could never do Fridays. So every other week, we're going to start doing a show on Wednesday talking about the exact same stuff. It's got to change. You guys are too precious. I mean, we care about you guys. We want you to. I answer phones. My freaking cell phone number is right there. My public cell phone number. Like you could drive right up to my office. I'm literally here. You could see me. You can't miss my ass. I drive a Scooby-Doo car and a motorcycle. So, I mean, I feel bad for somebody the other day, my buddy from Michigan was down here. Ken, I should have let him come in the restaurant and have a drink, so I feel like a snob. But it just caught me off guard, and we had a lot of stuff planned. But usually, I'm always available, like nonstop. I'm here for you guys. You know what I mean? I want to help you guys take control of your business by learning trucking, brokering, and dispatching. I mean, fuck, I do it for nothing. 75 hours over 3 weeks. We throw me and Penny, Nick, Alex, Tom, Jared, Nate, Chuck, all these places. Freaking, I know I missed it. Ernie, Penny, all these people. Marie, Cap Logistics, Frank G, Angie, even Susie's come in. All these people had come back over and over. Kyle Meyer, they come back over and over to help you guys. They come back to our group. We're not shunning you away. You don't have to pay $50 a month to be in our fucking platform because our information is gold. Frank's been doing this since his daddy, his grandpa Mondo's built the first wheel. You know what I mean? And then you got people like that Frank knows, like Joe Denny, look at Sparky, all these guys that we have so much history. That's his. Frank knows that we're talking to on a level basis all the time. You know what I mean? These aren't one truck authorities. Ricky Davis has been doing this forever with his shop. There's a guy you talk to for advice. He has a shop. His wife has trucks. They're still a business. They got customers. They got Frank's brokers. They're all tied together. They sell trucks. You go to those people to learn about trucks. You don't go to some dispatching service with one guy who was a company driver forever and ask him about the trucks to buy because their rear ends are different. The power, if you're going out west, all these things make so much difference to this business from day one. You're in the main. Man, my friend learned so much in just a short time and so much still to learn. Thanks, Michael. I mean, if you guys have never seen a boot camp webinar like ours. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you. I throw so much stuff in this. You guys look like Casper the Ghost and puke a little bit. Thank God I give you 10 days because all the poor people that took my webinars for, those poor people had to do it 3 weeks in a row. Sometimes you come out and you get a little so confused. It's not confused. You just don't know where to put it all in place is the problem. That's the whole point. But anyways, I'm done yelling, man. I know you guys got work to do. I've been on here for 48 minutes. Can't wait for last class, which is dispatched and ready to get it going. That's right. It's right. Dispatching class is the mecca of all of it. It's the key to success. It's the most valuable thing for brokers and truckers. That's the damn truth. Frank said, if a dispatching service knows more about booking your truck than you do, then you need to quit. That is the truth. Get the fuck out of the business. Go be an owner operator. Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. And that goes for all you guys that are investors that are coming in and buying equipment, counting on a driver save you. You guys are drunk. Like, stop drinking the fucking loony bin Kool-Aid because you guys are messed up because it doesn't work. Like, what happens when he quits? You hire another one. Good luck with that one. That's why there's 85,000 ads out there saying the same thing. What are you going to do? Well, I'm hoping the market falls and people lose their trucks and they come and drive mine. So is the 35% of the industry that can spend a lot more on recruiting than you can and offer benefits and everything. And they can get them home on weekends and you fucking can't because you need your truck to run 30 and 60 days at a time because you want to make money like the Joneses, $2,500, $3,000 a week because you're going to get rich in your investment. Or maybe you guys just want that $500 to $700 a week. I don't know. I'm confused as fuck. Me and Frank go like this. He sits next to me and we just beat our heads together. And then Ricky and the rest of them just sit over there and watch us because we don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand what happened. I mean, it's gotten worse and worse. I don't get it. I don't understand why you're listening to these guys tell you can't do it. They're doing it because it's their agenda and you should be in charge. You should know what you're going through, even as a trucking company. At least to somebody, you should know what they're putting you through. You should have a concept as an owner operator or as a carrier. I mean, if you're an owner operator and you're thinking about growing a company with your wife, take the class. You know what I mean? Learn it all. Learn boot camp, trucking, dispatching, brokering, residuals, compliance, safety, maintenance, how to do your PIN number, report drivers, DAC. I mean, why wouldn't you do that all at once? And you can't learn that shit in Dallas, Memphis, or Louisville for 2 days. You can't. It's not going to happen. I did it for 14 months. I traveled to 13 cities everywhere, met so many great people. And I'm telling you, you can't learn this shit in 3 days. You can't even learn it in 3 weeks. And the people that say you learn it on YouTube, I haven't seen a YouTube video yet that sits on there and goes, well, you're going to become a broker, right? You're going to go to PFA and do one of their down payment programs where you pay your bond every 90 days. Then you're going to go out there and find 3,000 broker packets on Facebook and dispatching services that half those guys are crooked and you don't even know who they are. Then they want to fuck you on your first look. Then you're going to have your bond payment due and you're not going to do anything. Then you're going to call and find out all those dispatching services did their factoring companies. You have no credit. So now you're going to be desperate to do what you can do. And then you're going to go out there and the very first load, you're going to have a $57,000 claim because your truck got ran over on the road tracks or a guy blew radiator fluid or, I mean, I just name off hundreds a day. Tanker rolls over. Will your website tell me information as price of your classes and everything? Yes, ma'am. You just go to shaggyconsulting.com, hit the bootcamp registration, and all my classes are on there. Just like we have one coming up Wednesday where I teach about the map back there, that map on my head. And then I send them out like this. I'm getting ready to send out Jenny's and Miss Farah, Khadijah. I'm sending theirs out and their maps. And these maps are for you to learn to network, build relationships. They're not like everybody's like, just a map. Oh, no, there's more to the map. And even my good buddy over in Brazil, the stuff that I used to do for free when that little peckerhead learned my map, I've added so much more to it because when I was doing those free trainings and dispatching, I haven't quite wrapped my head around everything because obviously I was stupid back whenever I was doing those free classes for a year over there in Missouri, in Indiana, where I mean, it was really cool because I got to train 550 people and teach brokering, trucking, dispatching, and do hands-on work. It was such a great experience for most of the people that come in. But, but to be able to all the people that I let take my shit all the years I worked and people that come in and train, there's the DUI girl down in Houston teaching people now dispatching service because it's easier than what her and her hubby were doing. Yeah, Clodfelder's over there had a CDL forever, never even owned a trucking company. He's got all my PowerPoints and stuff. He's over there teaching stuff, talking shit, his wife about me in the pharmacy while she's working to everybody. But he doesn't tell you how I let him in and he had to pay rent. He cried the day he was in the office doing his job change from the coal mines over there doing gravel. How he sat in there for 2 years. And then I went broke because I couldn't train people for free and not running all the businesses. So I had to separate. Everybody always gets mad. But they got bling, sure do. They're over there with the trailers. They got my little maps they're giving out and everything that they never even earned. They never earned because they didn't have the trucking companies. They didn't go through the heartaches. They didn't have great years one year. And then next year it almost break you because you have to feed your trucks. They didn't learn through heartaches of freight chasing where Denver, Florida, Dallas, Northeast, and all these places are your last home. They don't know. They know now. They think they know because they've known for some other experiences. But when those experiences leave and they go on and lose everything they got, how many of those dispatching services call back their clients and say, hey, I was helping you when I first started and stuff, and I got you going. I led you all that crazy information. But now, and see, now, are you still in business? No, you're not in business anymore. Oh, ain't that a shame? I was just calling to check on you. I wish I could have helped you, but I didn't know anything. I didn't really know all that stuff. All I knew was what I got to follow somebody else's footsteps the whole time. I guess that's learning. You know what I mean? I guess that's learning. Fucking jack offs. You know what I mean? I'm over it. Like, I really, because the people that are, it's really hard to keep doing this all the time, too, because you're constantly telling people over and over the truth. You're like, hey, you need to let people know where you're at. You can't do it 2 days at a time, and all this stuff you keep teaching people. And I'm going to keep going, but That's why sometimes people can stick their fingers in their ears and hold their breath for hours and hours at a time and never pass away from all the holes they have in their back. But, some people are built differently than others. I'm not God's gift to earth, and I am definitely not an angel. I can tell you before I got in trucking, I did so much bad stuff. That's probably where the nickname Shaggy came from and all that stuff. Everybody has the right to change. Everybody has the right to change and build a new plan. I was not perfect. I mean, me and Corey literally had anywhere from 30 to 70 apiece dispatching classes, dispatching trucks in our possession for many, many years. Matter of fact, I just met Scott Watson this weekend, man. I remember when me and him were doing it in 2011 when we had the in the box thing. We used to give a week free for everybody to come in. Me and him used to always ask, he used to laugh at me because I always asked, why are you using a dispatcher service people call? Because I needed to know what the reason was. You know what I mean? Is your wife not helping you? Or you're one truck authority? I mean, what do you want to do with it? Are you going to grow it? Because one of the things that we wanted to do when we had dispatching service was we wanted to grow our clients and do less clients and help them utilize the freight than have 50 clients, because no one wants 50 clients. You want to be able to help them make the money to grow the success. But, I've learned over the years, too, of how many mistakes that I made. First you learn about your trucking company. Then you learn, when I started trucking in 2008, my buddy Dan loaned me the money to help us get started. Fuck, man. We bought 12 trucks in repo too, because we did payday loans type things for these people because they kept borrowing off us because I had no plan. All these guys would make money and then they'd be broke. Make money, be broke. And I was always like, why is that happening? Because of freight chasing. There's no consistency. There's no plan. There's no product you could sell. There's nothing that you can sell to anybody. And you have to learn how to do that. You have to learn. And the problem is a lot of you are so far in that you don't have that month or two time to stop doing what you're now to learn, unless you're financially stable in another form. You guys are so caught up because the light switch just got changed on you in 30 days and all the Joneses left out. They're on airplanes flying away. I said, thanks for all the money last year. It's time to go to a new business. Thanks for letting me screw you over. Bye. Waving at you. You're over here going, what was that YouTube channel again? Because I'm the only guy out there that you're rolling down memory lane going, hey, you're fucking dumb. You can't do it that way. Don't this here. Let me. It's like me and Frank are gonna do the show. Here's your side. I'm gonna read something off, and we're gonna practice, and Frank can go with it. I'll be like, blah blah blah, and then Frank's gonna be like, this. Then da da. Does this not make sense? Da da. That doesn't make sense. And you're like, now that I stop and think about it, this guy's totally right. That is fucked up. Why wouldn't I get a load board like the dispatching service and start networking with people posting with direction and pick 4 or 5 cities so I can stay 300 to 500 mile radius? Why am I going to Vegas on day one? Dispatching service is back there going, $700, one load. Man, that's badass. The other guy's going, so when do I get the next one? And I don't even think I made $700 off that load by the time I paid fuel and everything else. Huh. Isn't that fucked up? That you're allowing that to happen? That you have no control of your business? You're an owner operator, at least at a company, you could have got your authority and you're letting them do it, or maybe it's the other way around. You got compliance companies out there that aren't teaching you. You have no training programs. You have more than one truck. If you asked one of your drivers today at your fleet right now, whether it's 4 or 5, if they're in a sudden accident where Mabel's head's laying on their hood right now, dead, shaking like this, going like that, and you're looking at that with blood running out and the kids are screaming in the back, what are the first 5 things that your drivers need to do that they practice on a regular basis to protect your company, your life, your blood, your money, your career, the thing you're leaving behind, the thing you started because you're tired of working for somebody else, the thing that you started because you wanted to build something? You're not talking about that. What are the things that you're practicing on a monthly basis? How are you bringing guys through your shop like James and Jewel Grimes talk about in my classes? How do you know what trucks to really buy? I mean, the dispatcher's never fucking drove a trucking company, and he's helping you do it because he found you on FOCSA, and he thought they knew what they're talking about, or the company. When these factory companies call you up and they promise you these dispatching services and promise you these games they're playing, offer you the low down payments, and you have a shitty credit score, all this stuff, but you really want to get out there. You not understand? Is you're just because you're already in that problem for a reason. Come on, guys. There's a reason why you have a 580, 600, 620. We know everybody wants to move to the no. Why is it like this? Am I the only guy with Frank? Are we the only guys that come on here all the time just trying to teach you to wake up and listen? That it's not a free for all? Those little people, She Trucking and all those people on YouTube, they're company drivers. Like they have one truck. They're owner operators. Chad Barley is one truck with two drivers. It's never been more than that. Even when he had rate per mile dispatching service, he probably got to 5 before he quit and ran his page. You know what I mean? When are you going to get real people, real businesses? And I understand it's hard, right? Because you can't walk into an established trucking company with 25 to 50, 100, hundreds of trucks because they're like, they won't give you time. So who do you learn from? Frank said, Frank said he's canceling his shows. There's no interest. Yeah, people don't care. I guess you guys like being controlled. You guys like having chips in your arm. You guys like going to fucking Walmart and checking yourself out. You guys like the way they're freaking using these little debit cards where you slap it because they're controlling you, but everybody doesn't think they're being changed for a reason. It's safety. Thanks, Charles. We love you. We love all you guys, man. That's what I'm talking about, James. You jump into class. The next one's coming up next Monday. It's coming up Monday, and then there's one. They're spread out. It takes 5 weeks now. I just don't understand. I'm coming on to talk to you, and I know people don't want to hear this. You know what I mean? And I get it. I get it. I'm not fighting you guys. I'm not here the one arguing with you. I could. You don't want to take my classes? I don't really care. I mean, I'm not fighting. You know why people say I can sell and do stuff? Because we do. Why? Or hold on, let me phrase that. You know why me and Frank and people like Corey can sell like we do? It's because we don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like I tell Jared E. Karachek, all these guys that are doing the VIP, they're going after corporate people. They're wearing the suits. They're talking about professional emails and all that stuff. And I get it, right? I'm all about bullet points and certain things, but I don't give a shit. Like if I walked in just like this to a customer, I'm just, what if I look them in the face and say, what is the way I look got to do with any way of me getting that freight delivered? That the proof is in the pudding. So, if you get people all day long with suits and stuff tell you about their carrier base to sell rates. I sell relationships and sell for my guys that I work with all the time, and we get shit done. And I can prove it. All you got to do is give me one load, and I'm already prepared to get it done. I already researched your rates and researched the lanes you have, and I even know the stupid brokers you're using before I come in. Matter of fact, I got like 35 carriers that I've already talked to that hate the people you're already using and would work with me instead of them. You want their names? Do you want their names? I don't. We don't have to go in there. Frank talks about it all the time. Every year when they do their milk, he talks to the carriers to have to run it first because if they're not happy, how can nothing's going to work? See, and you don't. When you guys are on the load boards using dispatching service, everybody's selling rates for a percentage to pay the bills, and that's all they care about. There's no long-term future past 2 weeks, 2 days. If you don't believe me about the 2 days, how far are you booked out? Why aren't you booked out a month? Why aren't you booked out a month working with people that want you to be booked out a month because those customers work a month and they have yearly plans? You guys, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, Frank just posted a thing about contract rates. Contracts are relationships. It doesn't mean that you're getting locked into a contract. It doesn't mean you're getting a dedicated contract. This means those loads are going to be there for a yearly rate. Those customers and those carriers are looking farther than yesterday. You don't want yesterday's freight. You don't want last minute freight. You don't want the shit. You want the stuff that, a lot of guys work sometimes 2 weeks at a time on freight with customers. So it's always longer. It's not last minute. You guys are like, you're full of shit. No, I'm not. Because if you guys are on the load board today or tomorrow and you're booking loads, if you can even get through when you're sitting like this going, well, I'm waiting, refresh, refresh, refresh. Okay, I don't know what I do now. Refresh. Oh, let me check my emails over there. Yep. What do you got? No, that ain't gonna work. When we gonna get out of there? I don't know. It's weird right now. The fucking place is all blue. Refresh. You know what I mean? That blows. It's not real. You shouldn't be doing that. I've been there. It sucks. And if you don't know maps, lanes, seasons, and routing, and when areas go down and when areas don't, if you don't have the relationships, then you're dead. I mean, like you're going they're going to keep you at $1.80, $2.50 a mile, maybe three and $3.50 to the Northeast. And your high price truck payments that you went out there buy, your big cost of operations, your inflated fixed costs and escrow and all that, because you have no extra income, no diversity, no backup money to help you at all. You know I'm talking to you. Jerry Castile says, what time? The boot camps start Monday. They're always for 6 to 12 p.m. We usually start at 10, but for some reason, I can't get my information so good that we can't kick the people out. They stay there like this till 12, keep talking and asking questions because we have so much knowledge to give. It's sick. You know what I mean? It's not like those ones that are out there that are in the Facebook groups going, that webinar is really good. You could have so much great information. You can play it over and 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 get the same shit all the time. It's really good. You can't ever get the guy on the phone because it's in the product, but you can play it over and over and over and over. And the next guy, he can get it too and play it over and over and over. And you can all go out there and sell the same shit because you have no character and you don't even know anything extra. Nothing. It is small. It happened to small companies. It's always that first wave, right? Alicia says the after party is always the best. I know. That's what I'm talking about. The after party in the boot camps, right? It's where you learn the best. You know what I mean? Because it's where I get to teach, because you got to give the partners time to teach because they're experts in what they do, and they're not. And it's funny is the whole time my partners like Penny and all those guys in it, they're not selling you nothing. Like they're literally just teaching about the compliance, the operations, the details of a lease agreement, and the ideas of the verbiage of how you present the lease agreement. Anybody can just make one. What do you do with it? What's in it? How does it work? How does it save you from losing money? How do you hold your last paycheck to keep the drivers from screwing you? And how long should you hold it? The government law says you should only do this many days, but the factory company fucks you over afterwards and they charge you back for all the stupid shit that the drivers charge you because you didn't have a plan in the first place to explain how that's not going to happen. Because your orientation's 2 hours, just like you book loads at 2 times. I do not have any seminars on weekends. That's why I own my own business, Jerry, because I like being off on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes not, usually not Fridays, but Saturdays and Sundays. I made it a point to work really hard over the years to make sure I did not have to do that. Just like a lot of my trucking companies are home on weekends. You know what I mean? And that's probably why you're home on weekend. But you got to take time off, take that time to be able to focus. Do not sign up for my webinars if you can't be glued to the screen with your camera on. I'm probably going to kick you out to the next class. I won't make you forfeit it, but you're definitely not going to stay. You're wasting my time. If you wanted to go take a webinar and learn where you didn't have to turn your screen on, go pay for something that's pre-fucking recorded. Don't take mine. Don't take my map training. Don't take the freight sales training, and definitely don't take my webinars. Guys, stop getting screwed over. If you guys just want to talk, like if you just want to call me up and talk and see where you're at in your business, my cell phone number is right there, 812-870-203. Who puts their personal, here, call it right now, ring. Who puts their number out there that you can harass me 24/7 for free? I'm not charging you. Let's talk. Half you guys are gonna call me up on a one-on-one. By the time we're the one-on-one, you're gonna get every one of your questions asked in like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? You're like, bam, and it's gonna be crazy. The next map training, and everybody's like, what is a map training? You know, a map training is not just a map. A map training is where you spend 3 hours learning about why the spot market sucks, why the low boards suck, what's wrong with all the low boards, where the real freight is, how you get to those brokers, how you build a network, how you build a local 150 mile, how you build a 300 mile, and how you build a 300 to 500 mile. Leave the OTR for the other retards and build a product where you can sell it, duplicate it, and get James Wheeler home for the next 52 weeks and have a plan. See, no one has a plan because their plan is no longer than 2 days. So, and then we're going to go, then the second half of the class, we're going to go and make live phone calls and prove it. Literally, we're going to route a truck for 7 days in this market. And we're going to see why it's so important because to do that, because you can't be paying for shops on the road. You can't be getting stuck out there. You can't guys, downtime costs most of you guys. These dispatchers don't understand. They're just like, I'm sorry, oops, oh my God, I can't believe that happened every week for the last 4 weeks. But you have to make that $1,400 to $2,000 back. My next map training is Wednesday. I think it's the 27th this week. April 27th. It's on the website. It's 6 hours long, give or take. It's a pretty badass class. Guys, stop getting screwed. Take control of your business. Stop using dispatchers. Train your wife. Train yourself. Take a week off. Then wait 10 days. Take another week off. Take that month. If you're starting your authority, you're still wanting to get into the business, take all 3 boot camps before you start. You'll thank me later. It'll be the biggest $1,300 tax write-off you ever do in your life. And I guarantee you, half you guys out here that are listening through these videos that are shared, I know that you paid more some other person that said they were glorified in their kitchen or wherever they had for less time, not 70 hours, not 2 hours a week for 6 months and they don't show up. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Are you guys really that lazy, that terrible? You don't care. You throw it away. You want to give your opportunities for a chance to get yourself out of that city, out of that neighborhood. I grew up in a town of 400 people. There was nothing around. Everybody I know, when I see them on Facebook, still stuck in Illinois and still hate Chicago. They haven't left. They haven't done anything. They're still working for General Tire, Walmart, Neon Sign, Budweiser, Walgreens, whatever factory they have, doing that same thing. Most people are those kinds of people, and they can't change. And there's a reason for that. They're not made for it. They need to work at their factory job for 70 years like their parent did. This isn't the realm for you. It's fucking war. It's the most legal, illegal, drug dealing type corrupt organization you will meet in your life. And if you don't have all your I's dotted and T's crossed and fundamentals together, well, it's just like a drug dealing business. You got 2 different classes of guys: feds, IRS, IFTA auditors, and everybody else, especially California. You got more. Some states have extras. Does that sound like a fun business when everybody wants your $1 million that you're now worth? Every day they're trying to take it from you. Guys, I don't, my B Live's not throwing the comments through and stuff. They come delayed. So if I missed a comment or didn't see something, I'm sorry. You guys can call my cell phone and go, let's just talk. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for listening. Yes, especially California. California sucks. You know, if we could take away Illinois, California, and New York, the United States would be a hell of a lot better place. You know, all we have to do is eliminate those 3 and we can go back to living because they're the ones that destroy most of our industry. Just so you guys know, Illinois is actually worse than California because a lot of the rules Californians wrote, they just had the balls to do them. You guys in Illinois should be scared more than California because their labor boards are the one that control those AB5s and all that shit. They're the ones that put the terms in. California's just following. And why you guys out in California allow them to do this to you, allow them to disrupt that, allow them to be that way, allow Pelosi and all those people to do that and all that crap on your streets and stuff like that. But you still, I don't understand. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why half the stuff is being let on. I don't know why I have to go to Walmart. I don't know why I have to use a little chip card I didn't ask for to scan my stuff, and why it looks like they're going to be putting a chip in my arm because the only way you're going to be able to pay people online is to have a chip in your arm. I don't understand where I didn't have the rights to do that, but we still vote, right? Like, I didn't ask for that. Where was the petition I got to prove that I wanted to move in that direction? You don't get a choice. And everybody's worried about what they think they see, but they don't look at what's happening within. That's the problem. It's like almost feels like sometimes we got put this whole COVID thing and technology thing. They were doing a test dummy run on us to see if they could actually feed us at home and control us, right? Like break you down, drop you up, turn you into this, and then next thing you know. But I'm not getting political at all. Me and Frank do not bring politics to our business. So I'm just talking about in general. Don't you feel like in the dispatching for filing your FMCSA to the lousy insurance companies, to the factoring companies that are out there, that you're being misled, misguided, and led like a blind little sheep? Oh, yep, sitting out there in that pasture like an open target. All you're waiting for is somebody to shoot you and die in your trucking business. One step away from starving. One, you like that thing out there where you're sitting in a row of sheep with your tongue hanging out. Frank and I are talking about it. You just can't find the watering hole because they keep running around it. By the time you get there, the watering hole's empty. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes I think of a scenario about airplanes, like two training companies. Like we teach people to go up to the top and float their way down and learn the curves, the dams, and how to get over them. Here comes Langston Patterson, right? That's so like, did you sit down and do the hundreds of calls and stuff? Like the same thing. People go, I get it. Yeah, and then when it's really good, we do it wrong. When it's right, when it's not good, then we're trying to catch up, and it just makes it 10 times worse. I get it. I love Langston. I mean, you're only one guy giving out so much information. You can only split yourself so many ways and help so many people. Shit, it's the most stressful, depressive business you'll ever be in your life. Listen to stories and then they don't listen. Like all the people right now that are calling me saying, what happened to the race? Where's the team rate? I'm like, if I looked on the load board right now, 30 days out, can I see you in multiple locations telling me exactly what you want? Or are you just posted or you even posted at all? I always ask that question and people are like, no, no, I'm not doing that at all. Okay. So what? The phone calls inbound are too hard for you? Like answer a phone and act like you have a truck, but you don't. Just like when brokers do the same to get rates to bid and all that. You're like there's some constitutional guideline where you must not be creative and cheat the system. Fuck Freight Guard and Carrier 401. They're a bunch of cheating, lying bastards, crooked anyways. And if you're doing your due diligence, keeping track of everything and your email and all that stuff, you'll be fine. You don't think brokers, I said this earlier, brokers double book? Of course they do, especially when they're rate brokers and they have to deal with dummies that just started in the business that don't have a clue and all they want to do is chase freight. They back you up all the time because they know that you're using a crappy broker or a dispatching service that'll probably mess up the load or cancel on you before they're. Dude, we love Langston. I'm trying to teach people, man. Like, and the sad part is a lot of times you get people that already invested a lot of their money, and by the time they figure out what's right or what's going on and that they needed to do it, it's already too late or almost too late. It's sad. Hey, we have all these authorities going out of business when it's such a lucrative market, but box trucks don't know that they're going to pay the same amount as semis. Hotshot non-CDLs don't know. People don't know they have to do all. They think, and so many people are so misled that think all you do is get an MC authority, set up some departments, and file your thing and jump right out there and go. It's not how it works. Not even close. Guys, sign up for a boot camp webinar, man. If you're serious. If you're just doing it for the fun, like a nonchalant showboat type thing, go take fucking somebody else's. Don't take mine. I don't want you. I don't need you. I want people that want to learn. Do the 5,000s of phone calls before they start. Learn to search and build a network that they can sell, that aren't scared to go after customers. Me and Frank are tired of wasting our time. This is why nobody helps you now that has the knowledge, because they know you won't listen. You ever think about that? Why do I do it? They won't listen anyways. Be good, guys. Take care of yourself. Stay great. I'm getting ready to go buy me a big old. I'm getting ready to do some posting, do some calls. I got there's like 6 right there, and I'm getting ready to go buy me some stuff for camping next weekend. I'm ready. It's my week off, so I'll be in and out of the office getting ready. I'll do some. We're gonna do a map training on Wednesday. Boot camp dispatching. Boot camp starts. I'm like, seriously. I mean, it's a tax write-off, right? If you guys don't think you could change your company, I guarantee it. Take the 3 boot camps. Refresh you. Take the boot camps. Even if you've already done stuff, you think you know what you're doing. We get guys like Tom, Scott Klemp. I can't even name them all, man. Like that guy's buying stuff like crazy. These guys that come in, they've already been established for years. Like, my class, it's a mixture. You got new people, people with 1 truck, then you got people with 4 and 5. People have been in business forever. And they're looking at all the money they're leaving on the table. The way they didn't have to be a slave to their equipment. The way their buddies were great for a little while, but then all the stuff that even your own friends be at least to you caused so much drama. You really didn't make the money that you could. Then you sit back years later, you look back and go, shit, I ran a trucking company, but I feel like when I retire, I'm still on Social Security. How did I own my own business and I have nothing to show for it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Take a chance to learn something from a group of people. Now, remember, it's not me. I'm not the God's gift there. I'm just the conductor of it. We have 12 people that have been in the business for years that come and teach too. You know, and the great part is there's still time because the markets will change. The products are there. We're just through this first 6 months of hell. We're not even going to see the freight rates go up probably. What are you going to do if it doesn't? What if you're sitting there thinking about the last 30 days that you've seen that's changed? It's like the last 2 months, right? And what's happening right now is everybody's buying every truck they can as they pop up still because those guys still have freight, but the rest of them are selling them. Then eventually it's going to flip. And maybe the prices go down. But in my past experience, I've never seen the prices drop. Once the people push it up, it stays. We have to adjust. And only the strongest will survive, unfortunately. So who are you going to be? See you guys later. ShaggyConsulting.com. Guys, share the video. Go to my Facebook group. If you guys leave reviews, if you like my stuff, go tell people. Keep spreading the word. We love you guys. That's what me and Frank and everybody's here for. The whole partners, all the teams, eCareJack. We live to teach you guys and help you stay in business. Peace.